Welcome to the Scottish Property Podcast. This is a show where we aim to educate, inspire and entertain through real life stories and interviews from people in the Scottish property community.
As always, thanks for listening and give us a follow on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to join us at our monthly networking events on the first Wednesday of every month. Tickets are available on our website. So without further ado, we'll just cut straight into this week's podcast. John and Lewis, how you doing? Prime Property Auctions, back in the studio, fresh back from Vegas, baby, yes!
Yeah.
What a story. He's going to dish what you were up to. I tell you what, it looked like some place at Hermosi headquarters. So that you can save us the 20 grand ticket, can you just kind of summarise in the next 2 minutes what you learnt out there?
So he's all about identifying what is stopping your business from growing. Unless you know what that is, everything else you work on is a waste of time.
Okay. And did you identify that?
Yes.
I mean, you guys are growing at some pace anyway, so I don't think you've got an issue there, but there's always
things. Growth. And when you get around people that are, it's 100 people in the room that are doing way better than you, like the bar gets raised very quickly.
He's such a big fanboy, isn't he? I mean, what was he like when he saw him in the flesh?
I mean, to be fair, everybody, he did basically a poll in the room. He was like, so out of the people that are in this room, raise your hand if you only heard about me within the last 3 months. It was like 2 hands go up. And he's like, okay, raise your hand if you've only heard about me in the last 6 months. 3 hands go up. He's like, raise your hand if you've been consuming my content for over a year. Like 90% of the room put their hand up.
Right.
And he's like, how easy was it? Like, see when like you got the opportunity to buy this. It was like, we were all sold already. So it's like, see the value he gives for free. It just means so when there's an opportunity there, and it's like putting yourself out there, giving good free value to everybody. Then when you want to work with them, it's like, yes.
The 2 days there, but like, how much of the time did he spend with you guys? Was it just
he did 2 presentations,
right?
And one of his presentations was genius because it's basically there's an upsell at the end of it to work with them, which for another year, and basically they will consult on your business.
What was the price of that?
Not cheap. And, he basically tells you all the reasons that you are currently saying no to not buying the course, and then closes you off the back of it. It's great. Like he's very, very.
So obviously you're so passionate about sales as well. So even that was quite a good eye opener for you.
I genuinely see selling from the stage. It's an art and it's a skill that I don't think I have yet. I think I'm a good presenter, but see to actually sell from stage and watching people do it, because what sorry to plug someone else, Stephen, but Paul McFadden does sell very
phenomenally well.
He is great on stage. You can say a lot of things about him, but what he does well is he is great on stage.
Well, he's lately managed to get himself onto a building site in front of some diggers, so it's now looking like he is quite active in property. So fair play to him. He's a great marketer.
Definitely.
So anyway, let's get you talking about what we're going to talk today about. This is a subject that I think, as business owners, we're all quite passionate about, is attracting the right talent, right? We have conversations with young people all the time, through the podcast, through businesses that are wanting to get involved in property. And sometimes it is for maybe the reasons of they see property as a vehicle to kind of riches, you know, they see people with the flash cars and all the rest of it on Instagram. But there is another way to obviously get involved in property without just becoming the quick get rich quick investor, do you know what I mean, which we all know in reality is very difficult.
Yes.
So we're here to talk about careers in property and actually getting a job. A 9 to 5, Stephen says it's the biggest scam out there, but
Sometimes the biggest dream when you're
so obviously you guys, you know, you've got a young team at Prime and you're always looking to attract new talent as well. So let's just start out, you know, the realities of starting out. If you are interested in property, you know, what would you kind of advise young people, the kind of steps to take early on?
I mean, ultimately, when I started interning. I mean, because it was just to get my foot in the door. I knew I wanted to work in property, and it was, okay, can I go work for this company? Show them the value that I can give, and I was willing to get on the phone.
And was that with the surveyor company?
No, so that was with Future.
That was right.
That was
Okay,
with
that's
Future.
where it started for you
Sure.
because like you trained as a surveyor, didn't you?
Yes. So I qualified as a surveyor, and then nobody was really hiring.
Aye.
I did have like a couple of interviews, and they were like, "You need to do like 20 interviews, and if you get through them, you have to do a presentation." I was like, "Fuck that! I've just done university. The idea of doing another dissertation made me want to blow my brains out." And thankfully for me, I kind of took well to sales. But I was working in a restaurant, riding rickshaws, and in my day off, I was interning for a property company just to get my foot in the door, and then they offered me a job, and I was like, hurrah!
I want to see the photo of you riding a rickshaw. Is that through Edinburgh? Was it?
Yeah.
Up the Royal Mile and all
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, mate, it was
You've got quads like fucking steel, haven't you?
Did you get good tips in that from
Very
Americans
good.
and stuff?
very good.
Oh.
Especially see when it was raining, because everyone was like, there's no taxis at all, and people just jump in the back, and you can charge whatever it is. It's like 50 quid to go down a hill.
Brilliant.
It's good.
You should
Entrepreneurial
get
mindset
a
right
big Prime banner on the back of a rickshaw and just drive around Glasgow city centre with it as well. That'd be good marketing.
But I mean, it's for me. It's like if you want to get into property, because as you say, everyone wants to be a deal sourcer, do a couple of deals a month, and then like live in Bali.
This
for the rest
is
of
the
the
wider conversation though, because like if people think that the general public think I want to get involved in property, they just think going to an estate agent, and I don't think you're going to learn anything in property by being an estate agent. I really don't. But coming to Prime, where you're looking at all aspects of deals and how they can be traded and how they can be sourced, and the fact there's multiple buyers for any given property, that opens your eyes up to what property really is.
Well, let's talk about that very start for predominantly it's going to be young people, right? Because you know you pick up Instagram, you start getting interested in the property thing, you start listening to podcasts, YouTube, all the rest of it. Really, what are the opportunities there? Unless you have like a rich dad, basically, who's going to fund all your deals, and you're going to be able to just like knock off some rich family member to go and buy to let properties or do flips and all the rest of it. Most kind of like 18 to 25 year olds have no got a spare 50 grand kicking about, do you know what I mean, to go and start buying property. So, you know, unless you've got a rich family member you're going to JV with or private investor loan, unless you have a very good network already built up of wealthy people, you know, how can you start, you know, let's talk about deal sourcing specifically, because a lot of the young people do start out doing that. You know, in reality, how difficult is that, Lewis?
Well, this is the thing. So everything you've mentioned are resources that you don't really have when you start, but you would develop and get if you worked in the industry. You would get contacts, you would make money. All the things you'd need to do to actually start doing the thing, you need to get from somewhere, and there's no better way to do it than working in property, in a job.
I mean, we have had on people on the podcast, like that springs to mind, Kyle Black, for example. Kyle Black was, you guys met Kyle?
Yeah, no, we've done business with Kyle.
Yeah, young guy. He's now got his own property company doing like sales, lettings, sourcing, all the rest of it. He started out very young. But again, he you could tell straight away, he just had, first of all, he's got the gift of the gab, he's got very good communication skills where he can have these conversations with investors and be kind of credible, and then he was doing stuff himself to build that credibility, and it didn't happen overnight, you know, it can take years, but like you said, just getting in to a job and start building your network, that's going to give you access to, I mean, for example, just talking about Prime, for example, the people that are working in Prime at the moment, what sort of conversations do you have with them at the start in terms of like, do they come to you going, oh, I'm interested in property? Is that got to be a thing?
It's funny because a lot of them have tried deal sourcing before.
Right.
And then they come to us because they see the opportunity to work in property, and they see that maybe there's a better path to do what they want to do versus trying to do it themselves.
Yeah.
I suppose you think of it, if someone goes and gets some property training while they're working their full-time job and then tries to do deal sourcing on the side, you're doing that evenings, weekends on top of your job.
Yep.
So unless your job's really, really well high paid, and even if it is, like you say, you can actually go and work in property and learn the skill set that you're trying to do as a side hustle.
Yeah.
Do it full time.
Absolutely.
And get paid at the same time, as well as learning from people that are doing it.
That's the big thing. It's like getting paid to learn and learning from people that are actually doing it. So there's no risk on your side. You're literally just getting paid to develop the skills. And what people try to do, I think, when they're young is try to earn before learning. So I think when you're young, in your teens, 20s, whenever, you know, the difference between what you're getting paid and what you're learning should be massively in favour of what you're learning, not what you're getting paid. Because if you can delay what you're getting paid for as long as you can to get the learning, then down the line you can earn a lot more.
Your value to the marketplace is hugely increased because of what you know. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, like, I don't know what you guys think, but I've got a 13-year-old son, and I'm thinking, I can't see you anytime soon actually going out there and fucking working because you're a lazy bastard. So it's actually like, you're thinking about young people these days, they are just seeing stuff online going, I just want to do that, I can't be arsed working, I don't want to go to uni, I just want to go and be rich, basically.
It's what this is. It's never been easier to start a business and make loads of money, but it's also never been easier to sit on your couch and do fuck all. So you can just sit there and the stats lose 2 hours of your life just scrolling. And like, what the hell is happening?
And the stats prove that as well. There's been articles lately in the press about the number of inactive young people in society these days, a massive problem. You know, that all a lot of that did stem on from COVID and all that, where people just get used to sitting about, like you say, just fucking watching Netflix and just getting paid for it anyway. Yeah, do you know what I
mean? and don't get me wrong, like, property is a sexy industry and everybody wants to get into it, but it's not an easy industry because you do need to have a certain base knowledge and understanding of what you're getting into, and then if you're going to be raising finance, you need to understand the risk that you're getting into.
What would you say the core skills are? Obviously, you know, we've all kind of recruited team members for our own businesses. You know, what do you look for, the kind of core skills? Like, obviously, people are not going to really have the knowledge, they're not going to have the network, but what can they have that's going to set them up for a good career in property?
Willingness to learn, knowing they know nothing, and I would say being likable. And like, if you can sit, so when we've got an interview process, they've got to answer some questions online. We will then vet them and we'll bring them in. When we bring them in, that's usually for, like, Lewis and I will just chat to them. Because see, if we can't have a conversation with you guys, how the fuck are they going to have a conversation with somebody on the phone? Because that is 90% of the job. Yeah, we send out home reports, we do emails and stuff like that, but 90% of the job is on the phone to people. You've got to build rapport quickly. You've got to because if you like somebody on the phone, you will tend to buy from. Once you buy from somebody once, you'll probably come back and buy more from.
Just talking about that kind of process of recruitment, so you get to fill out a form. Do you do any kind of video interview or anything like that first?
So basically, it's like a form on a website. It's a careers page. Fill in the details. They get a link to complete a video interview, which we give them like 5 questions. They have a minute and a half to answer each one, and the recording gets sent to us. We then review the recording. If we like what we see or what we're hearing, then we get them in for an interview.
Like that. It's a good way of funnel out of this shit, isn't it?
Yes, because if people aren't willing, especially for sales, people aren't willing to get on camera and talk and show themselves, that's kind of an indicator they're probably not.
There needs to be a level of confidence as well, right?
Yes, and that's it. I mean, confidence is key. If you're, especially given how vocal we are on social media, if it was like, oh, I'd like to work for you guys, but I don't really want to be on camera, it's like, you're not getting a job.
And it's difficult. It's like you say, you can teach most things, right? And you've got the systems and I think you've probably got a full manual now, haven't you, that you've built up? Because you're a systems guy, Liz.
He's built Prime Uni. Systematised what we do on calls, how we get people to offer and everything like that.
Brilliant. So you guys can obviously provide the full training, but ultimately that's difficult to teach confidence, and it takes years to develop that as well. But if somebody's just naturally, you do have young people that just naturally have that. Yeah. You can see it in kids sometimes as well. They just naturally have that.
It's an attitude as well. Like it's all about that attitude to life, willingness to learn. What you touched on as well. Like just you want to get out there and get after something.
Yeah.
If you just
nothing with the energy from them.
Yeah.
But like just something free, like from the event, the way they look to hire people. So they look at 3 things in this order. Knowledge about the avatar, which is knowledge about the clients you're going to be dealing with in terms of who they are.
So you recommend people do a bit of research, obviously, before they come in?
So I'll go over the 3 and I'll tell you why. That's so knowledge with avatar, or experience with avatar. Number 2 is they've sold in the same method that you're going to be selling. So for us, we're on the phones. So if a person's sold on the phones before, whether it's Sky, whatever, that's a good indicator they're going to be suited for the job. And the least important thing is they've sold what we've sold. Either they've sold properties via auction. Sometimes you actually need to unlearn things. So it's the least important. So the most important thing is knowledge and experience with the avatar. And the guys that have done best in Prime all are super interested in property and get around investors. So they know how to talk to investors.
Yeah. Because there is a bit of kind of jargon and lingo and all that as well. That can be learned too.
Understand their pain points, understand what they want, understand what their
what they're looking for,
ambitions is, what they want in a property portfolio, what, all
see, when you see a good yield and you need to tell that to someone else, you're going to have conviction because you know it's a good yield.
Yeah.
You don't have to bullshit. It's a 15% yield, mate. And if the guy's not going up, it's like this, you're not going to get it for that price. It's this price for a reason. You can't have that conviction if you don't know property.
Yeah.
If you had to do like a glossary as well, like of all the kind of different terms, like the BRRR and all that,
so many
people know that what they're talking about.
I suppose it's understanding like what you're coming back to. It's understanding who it is. They might not know what BRR is. They might just want to park fucking money in property and buy property and get that yield, and you sell them on yield, or maybe their pain points that they don't want to deal with problematic tenants. So they're not going to go in your ex-council houses. They're going to want students in 6 flats, whatever it may be. But understanding what they want and selling them what they want.
Exactly. So it's like they're client aware. They don't necessarily have to be product aware. We're selling properties, whatever, but they need to understand the clients they're dealing with.
That's why Danielle's done quite well as well, because she's got a background in property factoring as well.
Okay.
So when people have got like a problem with something like that, she can speak very freely about it. And then
She
they
must have a thick skin, eh?
So they fucking right, yeah. So
Well, you need to do a lot of shit in factoring, so that is a good background.
So it's
We need
just
a thick skin being with her, man.
For him. Stephen, what do you look for in your team then? Because
Attitude.
just good looks.
Yeah, has to be attitude.
That's why Sam Daniels, your business partner.
Oh God.
No, attitude.
It has to be attitude. I don't really look at a CV and think what qualifications.
Who looks
you've
at
got.
a CV these days?
Nothing. Because
Nah.
Can't even read.
degrees, right? Degrees are an approximation for skills. It's skills you look for. If you see a degree on a CV, it's like you're approximating skills. You're like, right, this person knows how to do X, Y, and Z, probably. But what you're looking for is skills.
You've got to, for me, it's the communication thing and the confidence and that ability to just be likeable, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's like you put an ad on Indeed and you just get like hundreds and hundreds of responses. So I do the first thing I do is I just send a template message to say, please record a video why you think you'd be suited to the job, why you'd be interested in the job. And that rules out pretty much 90% straight away.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing. Interesting for me, when I started recruiting for the lettings business, because we do the podcast and stuff, I got a lot of people reaching out saying, oh, Nick, I'm really interested in property, I'd love to get involved and all the rest of it. And for me, it really wasn't about having somebody that really wanted to be the kind of property investor, if you like, because lettings is really
It's loads more admin, innit?
admin heavy, process driven organisation. So that was the kind of key stuff that I was looking for. So it was a wee
You
bit
didn't need a
different.
salesperson. You didn't need someone out
Aye.
doing that. Yeah.
And they've not, exactly. So they need to be good with people because it's all about it. Every job in property is really people, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you're a middleman, aren't you?
So that was what I was looking for. But give people a wee bit about, because obviously people be listening to this going, it's fine for you guys. Yous are all property investors and business owners, so yous are all making good money. But what about us starting out?
Well, I worked for a company
Aye.
for over a decade, and I learnt my skills. I got better, and then I got paid more. The better I got, the more I got paid.
This is
and then I invested while I was there.
Aye, this is what's great about having you here, John, because you have been in the trenches as an employee.
Yeah.
So you've done it. You've been there. Lewis, you're fortunate enough. You've probably never had a boss because you had a business.
No,
before.
I used to work in restaurants.
Oh, you did?
And I worked in AXA as an insurance advisor. So
All right,
that was,
so you
that
have
was my last proper job.
Aye, but just from your time, obviously, it's kind of widely known that you used to work for Future. But how did obviously I know your story. You said before in our podcast that you got so far, and then you had ideas of your own that basically you thought it was like they weren't taking you on for your creative ideas.
Yeah, I never wanted to leave, and I went to uni and I was going to get a job and I was going to climb the corporate ladder. That was my plan. And then obviously Instagram was a thing, and everyone was like, so when I was working at Future and I was doing well, but I was on Instagram and I had convinced myself that everybody else in property was fucking multi-millionaire, they're all killing it. And I'm like looking at myself going, I'm not doing as well as I can. Then I go out and meet these people and I'm like, it's all fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like, nobody's fucking making the money they're saying they're making. So I think if people want to make money and people want to say, to invest in property, people will be making, say, as an engineer in the rigs or something like that, and they're making 100 grand a year, and they go, well, I want to do property full time. It's like, okay, well, that's going to be a hard transition, because you're just going to cut off that regular income.
Take away 75 grand a year straight away on a starting.
Exactly. So it's like, do you want to make a lot of money if you build up, and it takes time to build up a portfolio. So if you've already got a high paying job, are you aggressively investing into property so then that income can pay for you? And then because you've been doing it for time, you've then got the skills to be able to go, I can identify a flip, I can raise private finance, yada, yada, yada. And then you can make it work. But it's not a quick thing. So why not go and get paid in a property company?
What do you think would be? I mean, it's not that well paid an industry. Let's be honest about it, right? No, but like, well,
I think you're right. The barrier to entry is it's generally not paid well. But if I think about like the model that you guys are doing, if I could have my time again and Prime was around, fuck yes, that'd be exactly the route.
You guys are a little bit different. I'm talking about general kind of lettings, estate agency, starting off as a trainee surveyor or whatever. Well, let's just talk about Prime then, because we've got you here. Then what would be basic level entry? Is there a basic salary? And then what's the kind of commission structure then, just so people can realise what's available?
So yeah, so everyone gets paid a basic wage. So they are all full-time employed. And then there's a commission structure. So we do it tiers. So we obviously reward volume sales. So for the first 5 sales, you can get paid just under 200 quid, and then the next 5 sales, it goes up in tierings. So I think the most anyone's ever sold in 1 month is 14 properties.
Right, but you need to give us some numbers. So what would be kind of, what's your like lowest, average, highest, or performer in terms of like
the worst performer will get paid 35 grand in a year.
Brilliant. Aye, that's good. That's good. And then top performer at the moment, what you think?
So I mean, they're all relatively new. Like the oldest employee we have is less than 2 years old, as in they've been in the company less than 2 years. Miles did his best month in April, was it?
Yeah.
He got paid almost 10 grand.
Wow.
In April, and that was from commission, mainly from commission.
Have you got to be careful there, because I seen you post that on, I think you posted like a picture of his wage slip or something like that. Yeah. But
we asked him if it was okay. Because obviously he was, and we actually asked him, he was like, how many people have messaged you? And he's like, there's been a couple of people message me online. How
do I get a job earning 10k a month?
Or the girls
I think it was all the girls.
A few years ago.
What's the danger of that is, though, you're kind of leading people into kind of false expectations, because we know that not every month. No,
it's not false though, because, and this is the thing, there needs to be a survivorship bias. So we need to show what the best people are making, because that attracts other great people.
Yeah.
And even if the worst people, I'd rather the difference between the best and the worst be big than everyone making average.
Aye, but let's
because
be realistic.
It's performance based.
I mean, if you're going in as a 22-year-old, going in thinking you're going to make 10k a month, you got a bit of a reality check at the start.
Well, we did. I mean, everybody, they've all said that we want to make 10 grand a month. And Lewis and I sat down with them and said, it can be done, but it's not going to be fucking easy.
It's not going to happen quickly.
So we obviously pay referral fees, as you both know. So if you work for us, we give you a lot of leads. However, if you work for us and go find properties, so if you chap a door, your mate's selling, and you sign that property on, you get paid the referral fee.
Okay, so what do you attribute that 10k a month top earner guy, what's happened there that he's managed to get to that level that's cut himself out from the rest of the crowd?
So he has consumed all the content that we have put together for him, and he's actioned it all. He's not just like it's come and fell in his lap. He's done all the work, and his consistency gets better. He's now our team leader as well. So he works very closely with Lewis. He's always wanting to learn, like after calls. So when we first moved into the new office, we did actually remove ourselves from the sales pit, and we noticed a decline in their performance a little bit. And that was on us thinking, oh, we're doing really well at the minute. So
Just you were like, oh, they know what to do, just leave them to it, sort of thing.
correct. And that's on us as bosses to say that actually no, the constant reinforcement of like when they do a good job, well done, that was a really good call. Excellent, I really like how you did that. Or when they did something wrong, it's like, no, why have you said that? Don't say that. That's not the right thing. So when we were not there to give them that feedback, they'll maybe do the wrong thing, but it still worked. And then they continue to do that wrong thing going forward because they worked that last time and they just got lucky. So it's we're now in the sales pit again. And Miles is a hustler. Like he's on the phone a lot. He's always trying to get more deals done.
And is it a case of like he puts in extra hours when needed?
He's at every event as well.
Yeah.
He's there.
So it's
Discretionary effort. But if just to answer your question, how he actually did it, so he sold a lot of the leads that we gave him, the business generated, and he also went and found a big commercial unit that it ended up selling. So he brought the lead on, we sold it. I think it sold for like, what was it?
600
grand. He get 1% of that.
Nice. Brilliant.
Yeah. And the thing about expectations, again, the courses and stuff sell, you can make things earn money. That's his pay slip.
Yeah.
We're not lying about that.
Yeah.
That's his pay slip, and that's what's possible.
That's good. Let's talk about self-employed estate agency.
Okay, this gets me excited.
So we're talking here about Keller Williams, and let's just be clear, we've probably all know people that are associated with Keller Williams and really decent people, so this is not slagging anybody off that's been involved with that. We're talking about the business model and how that can benefit you or not work in your favour. So just to summarise for people, if they're not clear on what that is, can you give us a kind of brief summary of what we're talking about here, first of all, John?
So self-employed, so powered by Keller Williams or EXP or whatever it is, you will get paid. So there's no salary and you get paid a commission. It's usually 60-40 or 70-30 split, whatever it is. But you don't get given any leads. You've usually got a patch and you've got to generate all your own leads. And then,
which is the tough, which is the hard bit, right?
The hard bit. That is the business.
That's why we go to Hermosi.
Yeah.
And
so then, my problem with it is because obviously you guys have interviewed Callum White, who is crushing it in Dubai, and I message Callum all the time because I think what he's done is amazing, but I don't think that model works here because the average sale price of a property in Scotland is 200 grand.
It's too low.
And then everybody's like dropping their pants to win the business. So they're like, oh, well, we'll do it for 0.6%. Please, give me the board.
Like literally, I've heard of like the big companies like Reti, Coram and all the rest of it doing it for 0.6%.
And they'll give you a free home report.
So if the big boys are doing it,
but then is that not because their sale prices are 600-700 grand houses? A lot.
So yeah, I mean, I can't imagine they'd be dropping their fee to that low if it was at 200 grand. But yeah, it is.
It's hard. So if you're selling a property at £200,000 and even just use 1%, so you're getting paid £2,000, of which you keep 70% of it. So that's 1,400 quid. And then especially when you start out, it takes you how many months? Maybe 6 months to build up a pipeline. Yeah. And then it takes 3 months to sell a property. So you need to be able to be willing to not get paid any money for, I would say, a year.
Okay, so fancy making £1,000 for sending a WhatsApp. Let's take a wee break to talk about referring sellers to John and Lewis at Prime Property Auctions. Me and Stephen have both done it and it couldn't be easier. If you know someone selling a property, the guys will pay you £1,000 or 1% of the sale price, whatever's higher, just for passing their details. Doesn't matter if the seller is already with an estate agent or not, just drop the guys a message and they'll do everything from the first call to getting the property sold. Know someone who might be looking to sell or struggling to get a result with their agent? Go to the link in the show notes and send them a message now. I mean, obviously, just to counter it, obviously,
most business owners might be doing that.
Yeah, you like to say it. It's just because they don't provide the leads. That's the big thing for me. Do you know what I mean? They go on like, we provide this training, the systems, the brands. Okay, it could give you a starting point, I suppose, and I can see how it could.
I think if you have been in industry for a long period of time, I think then that's the time to go off and maybe do that. Because maybe you want to do it part-time. You've already got people that you can sell 10 properties a month. That's better.
You've already got a network.
Then just
Going on that network thing and going back to your 10 years at Future, obviously you've managed to build up a big network there, and that's obviously served you well moving into business.
Yeah.
Is that a kind of a bit of a concern as a business owner? Sometimes it does cross my mind in terms of, like, hope my staff aren't listening to this, but I give them 100 properties to manage, and that they build up really good relationships with the tenants, with the landlords. And then I think to myself, well, wait a minute, if they're building up a really good relationship with the landlord that's got like 30 properties, you know, what's not to stop them just going,
The
by the way,
idea is that we treat our staff really well, we pay them really well, we give them autonomy to do what they want, and we want them to be good enough to leave. And if they wanted to leave, then good luck to them.
Yeah.
But we want to treat them well enough that they want to stay.
I'm just be part of that overall kind of growth.
So it's like, would you? I mean, some people, because it's not all about. Some people, it's all about the money, and that's all they want to do. So some people, I want to do this, but there's, as we all know, being a business owner, there's good months and there's bad months. If you are an employee and you're just focused on, I just need to sell properties, you get fed leads all the time. You don't have to worry about fucking VAT bills, corporation tax,
Overheads, rent,
all the stuff we've got to deal with.
Accountants chasing you for receipts. to flights for Vegas.
Yeah, trip to Vegas, I swear.
That's the thing. So we want the guys to start getting involved as well.
Yeah.
So I was actually speaking to Echo yesterday. So he was like,
You mean in investing? No.
I mean, in anything. I mean, so Equi wanted to start investing in property, and he's like, doesn't really look, numbers don't really make sense for me. I was like, look, if you can find us properties for us to buy, we can buy them together and we'll trade them. We'll
that's
do
cool.
stuff together, because we want them to start.
That's pretty
getting
unique.
involved.
You don't get that a lot of places. You know, that's what kind of cuts you out. I'm not just saying that because obviously you guys support the podcast and you've been a great support. I'm saying that you do not get that many places. Most people, most property companies, whether it be estate agencies, lettings, they just treat you like an employee. Come in, do your job, and that's it. But seeing that bigger picture for their own development as well, I think that goes
Like
a
if
long
they
way.
can see themselves working with us for the next 10 plus years, I mean, you get a different type of commitment from them.
It's got to be that way, fast tracking yourself to your own portfolio as well. Like we've speaking off air, like a bit like Adam Williams, that's came on my workshop, went and worked for David Smart, done 15 deals in the last few months, done on his few flips. You're just getting fast tracked by working inside a business. You've got knowledge, you're showing you want to invest in yourself and grow. Then you're going to go and work in the business. That's going to bring you more and more opportunities. That having conversations with business owners like, we're investors, can I buy my own portfolio? Can you help me build my portfolio? Yes, we'll support you.
And it's also just one track. If you work for a property company and you want to get into property investment, that's all you do. So, I mean, I am a super boring person because all I talk about is property and property investment.
See that thing you guys did with the even taking that, I remember back now to, I think it was like Croatia or something like that, and you took the guys out of Croatia and all that, and just that, you just wouldn't get that anywhere else. I mean, your last employer, what did sort of trips, the benefits did they give you? Silence. So what I try and do is I try and do like a wee bonus structure. So it's like, you know, for every let property you do and stuff like that, you get a wee incentive and stuff. It all adds up, you know. For every Google review, you get a little bonus and stuff like that. So at least it's not just that basic wage. There is opportunities to try and kind of make a bit as well if you're incentivized.
Yeah. Well, we sold 30 properties in 1 month. That's when we took them away to Croatia. So this year it's when we sell 50 in 1 month. We're going away.
Any ideas of where? No.
Well, it's definitely not going to be fucking Vegas because me and Lewis just going away was so expensive. I was like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, man. That is.
We don't know. We need to hit 50 first. I mean, that's what we did.
It'd be difficult to top though. Croatia was
class. It was very, very good. But the team have
Dubai.
I mean,
that'd be good. You go and visit Callum White.
It's more because I mean, how long does it take to get to Dubai?
That's 7 hours.
Is it only 7 hours?
Flights aren't the flights are not that expensive.
Aye.
Do you have to fly to London?
You sit and Nick chats the face off you the whole way. It's
He's sitting there trying to watch the movies. No, you were trying to watch. I kept on trying to speak to him, and he's like, take the headphones off. And I'm like, what is it this time?
Having that goal in all the team. So I mean, now this year we've pretty much sold 30 or more every month. So that was obviously the big bonus last year, and now that's the new baseline. So we need to get to 50, and everyone's like, come on, like we can get to this. And we almost hit 40 last month. And everyone's like, because once you hit 40, then 50 is so close
to now, yeah.
And then that's when Lewis and I start sweating, going like, oh fucking
because the team's growing. It's now like we need to hire, like, you know, 2 places to house them on the trip, on the retreat. So that's great, guys. So back to, so I think we're on the self-employed estate agency model still. So we're talking about volume. It needs to be volume. I do see some guys doing it kind of on the side while they've still got full-time jobs. There's a couple of great guys out there, and I'm just kind of interested how maybe eventually they're just using it again to get the grounding, and then eventually they might go and set up their own estate agencies as well.
Most people will do it, and if the ones that are good they'll probably do some off-market deals and sell to investors, because that usually pays better. And then they'll have an estate agency as an outlet. Like if somebody doesn't want to sell their property at a discount, okay, well I can sell it in the market, and they'll still get a fee. You get a relationship with that person. They then refer you to a friend, and then before you know it, you are selling your 10, 15 properties, plus you're getting your off-market deals that you're either going to buy yourself. But it takes time. It's like, it's not going to be quick to do that, and being an estate agent is a difficult job.
And where do you see people, because we like we were talking about before, we saw this huge influx of kind of self-employed estate agents through COVID and all that, and very quickly we saw a lot of them disappear. I mean, there are success stories, but there was a lot of them kind of dropped off very quickly as well. So where do you think the pitfalls are then? It's just about that kind of low, it's that kind of low commission by the time you hand over basically your...
Yeah, I mean, because everyone, it's like, you get 70% of the commission, that's amazing.
On the low value properties.
You need to be selling volume.
That works in Dubai.
Correct. And that's, if you're getting paid £1 million for a deal, you only have to do one deal a year.
Or if you're getting a constant flow of leads, like you say, and you're doing volume, and it's maybe not too bad.
The big thing with us is we like front load. They don't have to worry about having properties to sell.
Jump on the phone straight away.
Literally, you can come in and we've got 300 properties on the books at the moment, so you can make commission from day one.
And you've had some people that have obviously not worked out for you. What would you say the common traits, or is there any sort of thing where you can put your finger and say, well, that's why that didn't work out?
We've not had that many, to be honest with you. We've retained most of our staff, and the people that have left, we've had to have a conversation with them, saying it probably isn't the best job for you, and we've parted the ways very well. But I think the thing is probably
that's a difficult conversation.
It is, but it's like if you look at it
in sales, like surely the targets mean basically everything.
Yeah,
if you're not hitting them, it's maybe not the right environment for you.
Yeah, that's true. But I think, the common traits are just they don't really want to progress. We need people to progress, and it's something Hormozy says at the workshop. It's like, if people aren't growing at the same rate as your business, that's going to cause issues.
Stephen, have you ever had to sack anybody?
Yeah, it's quite difficult. I actually managed to get away with it the last time we were doing a podcast a few months ago. Sam had to go to my place to do it.
You shit.
It's like the only day we can do it because he's on holiday for 2 weeks. I'm on the podcast holiday. You want to go?
I mean, it's no pleasant. I had one as well, and it was like, as a young guy, and I really wanted him to, make it work for him, and I really wanted him to succeed, and I tried everything for 3 months to give him the chances, and I just knew ultimately just didn't have that in him. He didn't have the drive in him, so I had to have the conversation.
Yeah, it's quite hard to rip that back. You don't have that conversation.
Well, for a young guy as well, because I just saw obviously my son, and I was like, he's not far off. He was in early 20s, 22 or something like that.
You do want to try and give them all the tools they can to succeed, but sometimes it's the attitude, isn't it? If you're not going to change someone's attitude, there's not much you can do, is there?
For us, it is quite... it's never easy to let somebody go, but it's easy to identify if someone's going to be there, because we want money hungry people working in the industry. We want people that want to get the knowledge to make the money to then go invest in properties themselves. And if you're there not making good commission, you're not getting paid well. So, and if you're happy with that, that's probably not the right job then, because everyone works in sales. That
was what Callum White said as well. I think the clip was that, because we sat in on the Monday morning meeting, and they threw the figures up on the board, didn't they? The kind of ones that were, because they've all got targets to meet as well. So it was like 150 agents, 50 of them had met the target. And I interviewed them afterwards. I says, oh, that was really interesting. Amazing to hear that 50 met the target. And like, how do you instill that kind of high performance culture? I think was my question. He's like, see, you're thinking that was good. I'm thinking that's dog shit. I think it was his words.
Only a third of it.
Only a third. I mean, so it's a different. See, I'm not in sales, so it's for me that was like, oh, 50 are doing really well. Well done, you guys. He's like, this is shit. The rest of you, what the fuck are you doing?
That's a different culture though, because if they're not bringing in anything, they don't earn any money. Whereas I think it's a shame in our culture that we have to do it, but we have to pay our staff a minimum wage, which if they are comfortable and they can just get by with a couple of bits of commission and they can earn a decent enough wage, that's fine. But you want people that are hungry to go, no, I want to earn 100 grand. Miles made 10 grand last month. I want to fucking make that, and everyone's chasing that.
That's exactly it. It's like this is what you can earn. Why has nobody else done
Why
this?
is no one pushing it this year?
Like, well, he's signed up 5 of his own leads, plus he's signed up another 10 of his leads. Why have you not signed up any of your own leads? You want to make more money? You can go and do this. There is the script. Go phone 20 people.
When you think about it as well, like, we'll probably try and touch on different other jobs, but the way I look at it is there's 2 main skill sets if you want to build a property portfolio, is finding the deals and finding the money. That's it. Everything else is fucking irrelevant.
Yeah.
And at Prime, you can go in and go, I'll learn how to find the deals. Let's go in and find the deals. And you're there with a load of investors, loads of deals to then try and pair them up and understand that part of the market fucking instantly almost.
Yeah, and it's amazing because these guys are dealing with investors every month. So if you think about it, we generate, I think it's between 2,500 and 3,000 buyer leads a month. So that's 3,000 investors that are speaking to every single month potentially. Where else are you going to be able to build a network like that? And if they actually, like,
how'd you get through
that penny drops?
Do you think there needs to be sacrifices in the early days in terms of
Fucking sacrifices, is there?
going out, partying?
I can't say that because when I worked as an employee, I still enjoyed myself. But guess what? I also worked Saturdays, hungover.
Yeah. So you could back then. You could get through it.
Exactly,
No, now, mate.
Exactly. So, but like when you're younger, it's more like, are you willing to put in more hours because you need to build the skill set? You need to, and it's reps. If you're not very good at something, do more of it to get better. So if it's like, if I can make 10 calls and sign up 50% of them, the likelihood of a new person doing that is just not going to happen, right? So they need to make 50 calls.
That's a really good point. I think when I started my business, I think Lewis asked me a couple of times, what is your offer? Was it?
Yeah.
Aye. What is your offer? Kind of like, how are you different from like other letting agents? Because there's millions of them out there. But for me, it wasn't so much about how I could be different. It was about I could outwork a lot of other ones. Work until 3 o'clock in the morning. So, on my business, making sure I was putting out.
We are just stupid, because I'm the same as you. The mentality, we'll just keep working it.
I can outwork. Yeah,
Lewis
people in the room. I might not be able to outwork you guys, but most of the agents out there that are sitting in the high street, I can outwork you.
Yeah.
So, my question about sacrifice.
I don't think an offer is something anything different. It's just like, what is it you provide? And if it's just doing the basics really well, that's a great offer.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you just summarising it. Exactly what you do. Is there anything else you think we need to touch on?
What other jobs would you suggest or could we touch on that you can get involved in property? I know we're all biased as property investors and looking at Prime's got thousands of investors and Prime's got thousands of deals. You can pair them up, you can make money.
What about surveyors?
What about other jobs that you've?
Do you think you could build a good network being a surveyor?
I think you can, but see, as a surveyor, you are inherently negative with. Genuinely though, it's
just built into you.
I think it is. It's you also. Your job is to highlight all the potential risks of. Oh no, this has got damp. Oh no, this could have this. Oh no, this could have it. Like their job is to, and it's the same as solicitors. Like most solicitors are not good businessmen. Are good.
It doesn't really fit into kind of entrepreneurial spirit, if you like,
because their entire job is to highlight all the fucking things that can go wrong and tell you, what about this? Well, obviously my old man is a lawyer. He does not own properties. Right. And every time I'm like, I want to buy this, and he's like, oh, John, this could happen, and then you got to sign a personal guarantee. Oh, they could do this, and I was like, well, guess what? If I don't sign this, I'm not getting the fucking property. If I don't buy the property, I'm not going to make any money. He's like, well, you could lose money. He's like, but I'm definitely not going to make money if I don't buy the property. So
that's all about risk, isn't it? Because as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we're taking risks every day, aren't we? We're trying to push things forward,
and that's why working for a company, learning the skill, is almost risk-free. You can also say, if you went to work, say if you came to Prime, you worked with us for 6 months, you were doing really well, but you fucking hated it, then guess what? You have managed to find that out in 6 months to be able to go, actually, maybe I don't want to do this. I want to go like stitch kitten hats or whatever the hell you want to do.
What have you lost?
So, and you've been paid over the time. Whereas if you decide, you know what, I'm going to do this myself, and you go out and you set up your own agency, and then 6 months down the line, you pump in loads of money, and you realise, I hate life.
Yeah,
like,
didn't take a wage, lost loads of money.
Exactly.
So,
The only other things I can think of,
what about letting agent?
Letting agents, again, as I said to you at the start, potentially, yes, I could see it as a good avenue.
I think if you want to self-manage your own portfolio and grow it, it's going to give you a good skill
Well, you're going to get access to landlords. Most of our landlords are property investors that are building portfolios, high worth individuals. So you can build relationships with them. Again, I hope none of my staff are listening to this, because
he's saying that I put the subject on the let.
don't steal any of my customers. Or it's our customers, but so I need to check my contracts now. See the employment contracts. I mean, it could definitely work for you. And I'm thinking to myself, if you want to make money out of property and be an investor eventually, like you say, you find the deals, you find the money, deals through other landlords that are selling up, possibly money through high worth individuals who are maybe doctors.
What about the job types? I'm just thinking the employees that we brought on, and even like your guy that does social media and content creating.
Yeah,
well,
there's
you've
the
got a
thing.
skill set, or you got, I'm good at marketing, right? I'm going to go and apply to Prime to go and help them with their marketing budgets, or admin. I'm going to go and do admin for a letting agent because I want to understand the property business or finance, whatever it is. Is there a skill set in different jobs and careers like that you can just go in to be exposed in property businesses?
As long as you get exposed, I think the thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect the first shot. You just go in, and if you don't like it, you can change. As long as you've taken action, you're going in the right direction. That's the only thing you should be asking yourself. Am I going in the right direction? Is going to this job going to get me closer some way to my goals? Yes.
Going forward.
Then you can adjust.
What are the alarm bells for us when we get our Instagram DMs and stuff like that? We all get them from people, that kind of like opening line. For me, it's like, I want to come pick your brains. I just hate that one. I hate picking your brains. It's the worst ever.
Just go on pin group. Everyone wants to give it to you for free and take you for a coffee and pick your brains.
Yeah. Do you ever get any messages come through and you're like, oh no, cringe, not another one? Is there anything that you would advise, just so people can listen to this, can say, right, this is not the way to do it?
I don't know. Try and give value to people. So try and figure out. So rather than being like, how can I help you, or I want to pick your brains, figure out what that person needs. Solve it for them.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Come to them with the solution.
So if I want to come pick your brains, I'm just doing it for myself, aren't I? What are you getting out of it? I'm picking your brain.
But it's so easy when you think about it. Like, I was speaking about this conversation with my brother the other day. If somebody wants to get in your network, it's so fucking easy. We're all looking for property deals. Bring me a property deal. Yep. We're all looking for an investor. Bring me an investor. We're all looking for fucking whatever. You can know in people's business, you go, okay, instead of me going with my hand out going, can I take you for a coffee and ask you all this information, come up and say, I know someone wanting to sell a property, any chance I can meet you? I know someone looking at investing property, any chance to meet you? Now, don't get me wrong, I've been here with somebody that fucking does this shit to me every couple of years who pick my brains and has no intention of ever fucking investing. Well-known person on Facebook, shall be nameless. But yeah, you can do it genuinely, like you say, is give value to someone where they're going to go, okay.
Do you know the hilarious thing is, depending on my mood, on how busy I am or how good a month we're having, I might be very receptive to somebody wanting to have a coffee. We were like, but we've got the office now as well, so we're like, if you want to come in and have a chat with us, as long as we're free and we've got we can give you half an hour of our time, we're happy to have a chat with you. Especially because we want people to get into property.
I know, mate. It's just
there's a lot of that, and because we're obviously business owners, we want the next. We don't want the next Miles. We want the next Dylan. We want these people coming to work for us. So,
how do you change that mindset? I've been thinking about this a lot recently. It's trying to attract the right people and the good people. And I was speaking to Jerry Alexander just yesterday about this, and it was like, changing the mindset from I'm good at spotting opportunities in property but I'm not good at spotting opportunities in people because I've not grew a business yet. I've grew a property portfolio. So it's like, how do you change that mindset to now you go,
Well,
you're
think
just saying,
how
I'm
many
looking for people.
properties you've bought and said, I wish I didn't buy that one. You need to buy that one to know that
You don't want that
wish you didn't buy it. So the more people you hire, then the more that you will understand, like, okay, maybe that was a red flag in that interview. I shouldn't have said that. Or when they said that, that was a bit weird. We still hired them. Maybe that was on us. So you just get better at spotting this person's going to be shit.
It's also the good ones. Yeah, the good ones, exactly. Like you accidentally hire someone that's really good, and it's like, wow, the bar has now been reset to that person.
Yeah.
And then that kind of progresses.
Aye.
In terms of hiring, I think that's, talent is the next level for us. It becomes a people game. Rather than like, how do I solve this problem? It's like, who do I hire to solve this problem?
Yeah.
We're not at that point yet. We're just talking because this is what we hear from people above us. But that tends to become the game at a certain point. It's all about talent, attracting the best people.
So see, for a small business owner as well, like we're probably going off topic actually, to be fair. But if you were looking to hire the best person, but you're going, oh, the business is so young and we can't really afford that superstar wages, how do you bridge that gap between, I'm paying a 30 grand basic to we pay 60 or 70, we're going to get the fucking best marketer or the best person? How would you do that jump?
So this is, like, again, because when the workshop, they've looked at so many businesses, they've basically categorized businesses by revenue, and they know exactly what problems they have to solve or they're facing. Up to $1 million in revenue, if you're getting stuck up to $1 million in revenue, the model's broken. There's something in your business that doesn't work. Like, they're just the fundamentals of it. From $1 million to $3 million, it's called the swamp. So basically, you're making some profit, but to get to the next level, you either need to hire a superstar that's going to wipe out your profit to really take you to that next level, or you need to basically work 2 times what you're currently doing and the inputs yourself. What he says to do is do both. So increase your inputs and hire the superstar to then get to the next level, which is from 3 to 10 million in revenue.
You're like, I thought my days of work until 3 in the morning I've gone. No, I need to do it again.
You're still
it.
young. You're still young. Well, Lewis younger than I.
Mate, you've got your first child, you're going to age quickly. Trust me.
I'm aging.
That lack of sleep. Guys, we should probably wrap that up. Just coming back to the coffees, obviously, if anybody wants to reach out to you for a coffee, if anybody reaches me for a coffee, I just bat them on to Stephen. I give him Stephen's number, and then he takes 2 weeks to get back to him, and by that time, guys, where can people get you guys, obviously, for...
So on Instagram, so it's John _property _auctioneer, and for me it's Lewis _property _auctioneer. If you're interested in working in property or having a chat, you can go on our website. There's a careers page. Fill in your details. Takes 2 seconds, and we'll send you the next steps.
Anything you want to add, John?
No, I previously said that I hated LinkedIn, and now Lewis and I are putting a real push on LinkedIn, so you will notice us posting more there.
John Cox is going to be proud of you.
You better engage. We
Is
need more
it
engagement.
actually you writing the posts?
I am putting the posts out there, yes.
Because that was the thing, wasn't it? It was like we found out when we had John Cox in,
It wasn't even him, it was Jack.
he had a spat about property courses. Or were you two? And then it was like, it wasn't even him that was writing it. It was Jack Harlan, who you guys know very well.
Yes, Jack is our PPC agency, or
Brilliant.
performance marketing agent is what it's called.
Always great to have you on, guys. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks very much again. Another opportunity to say a big thank you from ourselves and the listeners for supporting the Scottish Property Podcast like you guys do.
Thanks
All right.
you guys
Thanks,
for
guys.
putting out the great content. It's good.
Great. Fantastic.